FlyQuest are 1,040 Valve points tied for third and fourth.
Ooh.
And TYLOO is sitting somewhere around 1,000 points. So they're not too far away. Well, that says 1,054 on there, and then it says on the actual ranking itself that I can see, it says 989. So I'm just going to leave it up to the jury there. But there's somewhere around that mark, regardless of where exactly. My point is, like, an extra 5 or 10 points here could actually be the difference between getting an invite somewhere down the track to something like, for example, NI Melbourne, which is coming up very shortly. That invite went to FlyQuest, but in a different world, it could have gone to Rare Atom. It could have gone to TYLOO. So TYLOO got to be making sure that they do cross their I's and dot their T's. And there's our player to watch attacker getting the opening kill of the game. We love to see it.
G's got himself another one as well, but the problem is going to be back over towards mid where the flank was coming in. Rage is doubling. Some great stuff coming out from him. I think for me personally, if I had to call out for a player to watch on the NinJa side, it probably would be Rage for me. Always been a very good Inferno player, strangely so, in terms of, in relative to his other maps. Mercury left in the 1v3, closing the distance, gets one shot given over to him, but it is a losing battle, and he reminds us of that. So, good start of things for NinJa. Quick overrun of that A-bomb site.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it'll happen. It's a pistol. I'm not really prepared to write home about it just yet. But a good start for NinJa, definitely. We'll see what they can snowball off of it. It doesn't look like there's going to be much of an investment from TYLOO, so we'll be expecting the buy in round number 3. 2 MAC-10s out here for NinJa. See if they can farm up quite a nice little stash early on in the piece, which I think they'll definitely need. If there's going to be a world where NinJa is able to beat TYLOO on one of these 2 maps, it is going to be, I would say, quite a brawly, back and forth kind of a game. You know, maybe TYLOO making a few mistakes here and there, losing some control of the economy at an inopportune time. I don't think we see a NinJa just walk over TYLOO in the same way that if TYLOO 2-0s this matchup, for example, you could definitely say, well, TYLOO just had a fantastic day. They just rolled over NinJa. Easy peasy. But I don't really see that being a possibility for NinJa. So I think taking these early rounds, getting that money built up nicely, you know, again, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, is really going to pay dividends for them later on down the track.
Is Say My Name risk?
I would only assume so, but I will check on the HLTV scoreboard.
Okay.
I know there was some confusion the other night about, I think it was Child King was playing under a different alias as well. It's just the face of it. Yeah, it is risk. It is.
Okay, got it. Good confirmation on that one. Right, well, TYLOO go out and say, you know what? We want to save, and for good reason. Those MAC-10s that you mentioned are always going to be out of the hunt. Now the question is, NinJa, do they want to commit out to it? I'd like to see that, right? Just chuck the MAC-10s at them, and a worst-case scenario, you lose them. Not really end of the world. Risk will slowly be darting forward. It is going to be 2 players on the bomb site. And look, if they can take him down quickly, they really do remove most of the options of making money, and it feels like just by keeping him at bay, they're able to do so. I would have liked to see him commit. Whatever, it's okay. He wants to play careful initially versus an opponent who they think on paper is much better than them. I understand.
Well, Jamyoung's got the MP9. So I'm interested to see what he's going to get up to here. Just heading over toward Banana, which seems a pretty safe place to take that MP9. You always get a bit of value out of that one at the half wall. Not always, but often. Not going to get to go to half wall, though. This is a nice top Nana take early on in the piece from NinJa. They have successfully kept TYLOO out of sandbags. We've got a bit of retake util coming through now.
Oh, that's going to be a good nade. Oh, that is a great nade. Rage and Spine down low. Jamyoung here to put them to bed. That's why he started off, and happy to tuck them in as well. And now, fights continued, but Rage will be quartered off by Smoke. Will have to move back to collect the bomb. It is 2 defenders on the A-bomb side who are about to be given a lot of company, and company they're willing to have.
This is not what you want going into a 4-stacked A-bomb side against TYLOO. Whoever that was didn't get the memo. It was Attacker. And that was not as clean as I would have liked it to have been from TYLOO, but Mosey luckily gets the job done.
Yeah, I won't lie, I thought that round was kind of over, and then suddenly right back into things. This is one of the nice things about the Chinese scene, which is that unlike the Mongolian scene, I think in many ways, China's firepower goes very deep. And I think in the Mongolian scene, you actually start seeing teams like Chinggis Warriors and whatnot struggle with tactics more than... struggle with firepower more than with tactics very often. So, yeah. It is always a nice reminder whenever you see these 3 versus 5s get a little bit hairy about what these teams can do. Watch out for G. He's getting aggressive out in towards the apartments.
Classic G maneuver. Sometimes see him do it with the AWP even. This time getting it done with the rifle. And NinJa... well, they're just going to decide to push a couple of smokes. One through bracket there, a little bit over towards the banana side as well. Happening. Jamyoung with that MP9. Not able to land anything through the smoke, but numbers advantage already for TYLOO. They'll be happy with and slow things down from here.
Jamyoung does have an incendiary, but they could just run through it if they want to. The boost up is going to be revealing his position. He goes back in. Oh my goodness, they're never going to be expecting this. Incendiary at their feet. They're segmented off. Spine's been dinked, but there's no follow-up. There's no nades. There's no nothing. Not until Mercury's able to peek back out over Mosaic. Keeps it going, makes it 3 versus 2. That smoke will provide you very little. They've shown how willing they are to disrespect it, even if they will take a couple of smacks to the face for doing so.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I just don't think we're really getting that same TYLOO at the moment here in ESL as what we did at ESL Pro League. However, this round should still go their way. Attacker, get the job done onto Say My Name.
Say my name, say my name.
Say my name. Risk.
All right.
Is that how that's supposed to go? But, you know, just in that setup again, when we've got 3 players over towards the B bomb site, it just feels a little bit discombobulated almost there for TYLOO. Mosaic kind of like taking the initial fight after Jamyoung goes down, but like no one really helping Jamyoung out when he's in banana. And then the third player coming through there as well. You know, it just, I don't know. I don't feel like we're getting that same like crisp, sharp, sort of snappy TYLOO that we kind of saw at ESL Pro League. This is a little bit more of a lethargic, labored spray downs kind of TYLOO that we're a little bit more used to seeing on online games. Which, you know, again, they're getting the rounds done for the most part. These gun rounds have gone their way, obviously, but it's not really what I wanted so far.
I like what's going on over here. NinJa's trying to get sneaky with this. A bum rush on banana might be the call. Flashes galore to be thrown outwards. It is going to be intercepted by Mr. Jam. Second name Young. Third name quad kill. Jam Young quad kill. There you go. Can't get the full ace.
That was a bit more like it.
I'm glad that you were satisfied by this one, Jordan, because that was good looking.
Well, I had to go on a big rant about how they weren't hitting their shots, only for them literally in the next round to have a nice 4-man spray down. Granted, it was against pistols, but...
hey, spray downs are spray downs. They have armor, they have tech 9s, they have a lot of flashes with them. It's hard, man. It's hard out there. Risk will be finding his hands on the AWP, a weapon that he is generally very comfortable with. Maybe even wants to go and see if there's a contest to find up against G. A aggressive line into apartments could go a long way, and for now, he looks to be looking for exactly that. Great timing. Fantastic stuff. I really like what he's doing over here. Movement's fantastic, and now he's just looking for that line down onto G. G is playing from back in Moto, so he might be opened up to it if he's rotating into the site. He should go down. Rage, in the meanwhile, just wants to make sure that Mosaic and Jamyoung will not have too much to offer over here. Mosaic is going to be taking an isolated fight, and with the flashbang actually blinding out Jamyoung, that should have been Rage's opportunity to win it outright, but instead the MP9 takes it.
3 on 4. They somewhat have control of brackets now, though, NinJa. As we see Attacker work his way back in towards Pit. Extra rotator coming in the form of Jamyoung. We'll be there in time. NinJa have just stalled themselves up. They're going to try and find themselves a pick. Sasuke creeping his way forward with the AK here. Not really going to find too much. TYLOO playing this one very patiently.
Okay, well, that'll be helpful. That'll be very helpful. Double kill out from Attacker. Jamyoung, when I saw that he had a flashbang and an incendiary, I thought he'd be trying to pop the flashbang out over Pit as fast as possible. It is not needed at all. It's really nicely done. uses the incendiary to just make sure that he won't be taken down by a T-side player who might be lurking in middle, and he is able to get that work given over. Again, very surprising kill where the MP9 wins the duel from Logs over in Banana, but for NinJa, you can't be missing out on those. Once again, it's acceleration. It is G to receive, and he's got the Tech 9 from the earlier round, so he's not going to be shy from fighting up. It's a man's world, because it's Tech 9s on Tech 9s. They do it the fair way. Mosaic with 4.
Very different approach that time from NinJa, as was to be expected out of the Tech 9s, but doesn't really work in the end. So very solid stuff from TYLOO as they start to really get rolling now in the CT half. Take them a couple of rounds to really start to impress, but it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. We're looking a little bit more like where we want to be in regards to TYLOO. Another gun round out though for NinJa.
Okay. Attacker's able to keep his utility for a little while longer. Meanwhile, fights over in Banana. Jam Young. A grenade, an incendiary. It is a works, and a boost from Risk is going to be giving him a stray kill. That felt like a prayer, if I've ever seen one.
Top 9 are taken. There is a smoke in the way right now for NinJa, but plenty of time for that to fade away. There will be a re-smoke through. Timing not great, but Jam Young is just better. Nice headshot on the spine, and he gets a lot of work done onto the second player as well. Mercury comes through for a trade. I think he's been watching some Somebody demos.
This could be where the utility makes a massive difference. Look at how much G has, but the problem is he's the one going forward initially for some sort of aggression. An incendiary out towards out towards Quad would go pretty far. Actually, those are both the same positions. I don't know why I'm correcting myself. Incendiary is going to be clearing out new box, and with that, G is now going to be much more concerned about what's going on out towards Banana. If he can cover that off, an attacker isolates a duel into pool, maybe something can work, but with Risk taking first move, it is going to be him giving the round back over to Ninjas. They will be finding that third round. G goes down in the end. Miami will be doing the same.
Yeah, again, though, you can just see how sharp some of these players are on NinJa. It was a clean kill from Miami onto G. I want to sort of go back to what you were saying earlier on in this game, now that we have attack timeout. You were sort of saying like the individual talent kind of runs deep in China, and just to corroborate that, we actually have a predominantly Chinese team playing at the ANZ LAN this weekend.
Yeah,
they're all students, and I was talking to them because I met them today for the first time, and I was said, you know, hey you guys, like, you know, did you play back in China? And they did. Yeah. And I said, so you're obviously staying here to study for a few years, and then what, you go back home after you finish your studies? And they're like, yeah, that's the plan. So I said, well, do you intend to keep playing CS? Like, what's the plan? Like, do you ever want to get into like a top Chinese team or anything like that? If you had the opportunity, would you play in like TYLOO or something like that? And they were sort of saying, no, we don't think we're good enough. Like, there's too many good players in China. And then I was like, what do you mean there's too many good players? Like, where are all these players? Like, where are all these good players if they're still picking up attacker? You know? So, anyway.
Well, they did have Starry before that, and we saw how that went. So, you know what? I'm with them on the attacker pickup.
But the general consensus, obviously, is that, there's a lot of talent within China, as we're seeing, but it may not necessarily always translate into a team environment quite as much. That was the concern that they raised. However, this NinJa squad certainly not shy when it comes to the aim department. G really under pressure. That's going to be a tough shot to hit, and he'll fall. A-side's going to be taken by NinJa.
You've got to save this one if you're TYLOO, but they will look to see if there's any initial fights to be taking, and it is Risk to put them down. Yeah, honestly, Jam Young's still going to go for this one. He can switch up for an M4A1, and if he found Sasaki on 25, maybe just go for the full defuse. So it makes you wonder, but you don't really need to wonder for too long.
See, this is the thing again about TYLOO. Like, are you telling me they're going to go for that if they're playing against FlyQuest on Inferno Decider map in the 3rd and final best of 3 that they get to play, or the 5th, as it were, I guess, for an X spot in the playoffs of ESL Pro League. I don't think so, or in Stage 2. I don't think so. I think that in a sense when they play oh my goodness.
That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Literally
I've never seen that. Yeah, that is as well for me. But yeah, I just don't think we get the same TYLOO sometimes. You know, they're going to limit test a little bit. They're going to give it a crack, and that's fair enough.
That's a man. Mercury is under contest. We'll finish off the point in just a second because Attacker wants to get involved this time earlier on as well. Not necessarily the way in the boilerplates. It is out in mid. He is a monster. And unfortunately, ninjas are finding that out a hard way. Now, I think, Jordan, that this is all just to make sure that Jam Young doesn't get bored and hope to go back to Valorant. Just take it chill for the online matches initially. Just ask him to show up big time for the playoffs. Ask him to show up big time for the LAN matches. It's okay. Now, he's 12-4, so maybe I'm just making things up out of my behind.
Maybe. Yeah. I just think at this point TYLOO's kind of just playing around with their food in a sense. They're doing what they can. 12-4 from Jam Young. That is a pretty reasonable performance. I want to see more from Attacker. He's our guy. He's our player to watch. Not doing too badly, but yeah, sometimes Jam Young does just take over a half or a map, and there isn't usually a whole lot left over to the rest of the lads.
Yeah, Eternal Fire learned that the hard way.
Jam Young just performing a little bit of a soliloquy at this point. Kind of doing it all himself. Not really worried about anybody else. Doesn't matter who's on his team, who's on the other team. 13-4. He's got another one.
There's a lot of players who, in different esports, have been ruined by RPGs. Who've been ruined by World of Warcraft and the like. Rage is speaking through the smoke. Will likely be taken down over here. Not very healthy. We'll put a pause on the World of Warcraft discussion for a second. Mosaic is going to be contested by a boost. Spots it out. Spine's taken down. Continues to spray underneath. We'll see the bomb. Takes it down. Rage will get his one. But no more than that. And as Risk is the last man standing, he'll be taken down. But yeah, I think Jam Young is the kind of player who would go to World of Warcraft and say, well, what's the difference? I'm playing PvE over here in CS anyway.
It's true. Yeah, I don't get the feeling that Jam Young's much of a WoW player, quite frankly. Spine looks to have DC'd. Yeah, something's going on. So we'll have a little bit of a pause here. But you're 100% right on that train of thought, by the way, because it has happened to no shortage of players in the ANZ region. I don't know if you remember Offnu.
Yeah, I remember him.
He was infamous for being a WoW guy. And when the WoW expansions came out, you know, he would see a bit of a drop-off in his
Do you want to know
CS
something
performances.
funny? The greatest Pakistani Counter-Strike player of all time, without a doubt, is Pokemon. Saad's Pokemon Emmet.
Right.
Saad is a very close personal friend of mine, and for years he would just stop playing the game and play whatever like RPG, because there was this one from like Amazon as well. I don't remember what the name was, maybe Lost Age, whatever. It was one of these
Lost Ark or something.
Maybe it was one of these like garbage RPGs. And he was just playing for 9 months a year, except for when the RMRs came around, and then he'd start to play. And he's obviously good enough to qualify into maybe top 2 or top 3 in the MENA qualifiers. But he never won the finals, which you needed to qualify. And he's always blamed his luck and everything. And I always remember just going up to him and saying, "But you're playing WoW for 9 months of the year. What do you mean? Right? How is this your luck?" But Counter-Strike players gonna Counter-Strike. He's since then become a very diligent hard worker again, and we'll give him credit for that one, right? Like now he's really gone back to grinding and everything, got everything together. But you do wonder.
Yeah, I'm sort of honestly a little bit surprised that we don't see more of those sort of like South Asia, I guess, and Middle Eastern mixes in things like ESL Challenger League. Like the only real South Asia presence that we've got is from
India.
God's Reign,
From India, in
which is
general.
India. But
Can I tell you
apart
the
from
real
that-
reason why? And listen, I love these people. These are my people. I am one of them. I am guilty of this just as well. We cannot stand each other for 10 weeks of open.
Right. That'll do it.
Every single team that has tried has just fallen apart and disbanded.
Yeah, like, I mean, these like Onyx Ravens, the Divine Vendettas, the Camel Riders, like
Absolutely.
these have
I've
all
coached them
been
all.
reasonably decent teams within their little sub-region, but never been able to kind of break out of that sub-region.
Well, right now it's all about the last round of the half, and Jamyoung has been dissuaded from maintaining a hold on Banana. He's a man who likes his fruit, though, so he's not going to let go of this one without a fight. When did he lose the howl? That was iconic for him. Still.
I mean, maybe a
Flash
drop.
overhead, push through. It's Jamyoung to intercept. Good for one. It's Mosea with two, and Jamyoung will be the trade, sure. But as Miami looks to trace out a bot through the smoke, it is still damage being taken, and G staying alive. A deep grenade is not going to be doing them any favors. While Sasuke lurks back to the A site, he's suddenly realizing maybe I would have been better on B. He's still looking for this rotation. Mercury is going to face back against him and will fall, so that leaves Attacker all alone on this A site.
This round has ended up very strange indeed. That's a bold fight from Attacker, but he makes it work, and this is where he has actually done some of his best work at ESL Pro League. What a nade, Attacker! He is doing it again. That's why he is the player to watch for this matchup. This guy's crazy in the pit. He gets all three. Unreal. That's a solid first half from Attacker and from TYLOO. We'll be back for the second in just a sec.
And find I retain that I left my distractions behind. I will be in the meantime, I'll blindfold my pride and keep hold of my time like it's gold. Fading color, reaching to find where I wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine. Why sit around and waste the time? Stuck in the backseat and told to drive.
back on in for the second half here, and TYLOO put together a pretty decent first half there, 8-4. You can't be too mad about it. Props to Attacker for the nice 1v3 at the back end that did really seal the deal there for round number 8. NinJa, however, have shown that they can shoot pretty straight when they get their opportunity. So a pistol round in particular feels like it could well be their forte. First couple of shots, though, from Spine do go whizzing past TYLOO. Jamyoung looking for info at the top of Nana. Has not yet seen Rage hiding behind Car, which is no longer a car, it's barrels. But either way, he gets nothing done, and G has to get the trade. It's all, unfortunately, again, for NinJa, going the way of TYLOO so far. Sasuke has been spotted out there in Boiler, but he'll lose his head, and this is going to get a little bit awkward as he gets another one onto Mosey. TYLOO scramble after him into the bedroom. Ooh, eventually catch up with him. G's got the job done. It is still hanging in the balance, though, 2-on-2.
Jamyoung's washed out for Spine, and they want to isolate the deal onto the bomb site. Understandably so, that's what you're going to be delivering. G's got 3 kills so far, rivaling and then exceeding that of Sasuke, who's the only reason why NinJa's even had a chance over here. 4-8, and with the way things are going, it is going to be 4-9. Spine misses out on his opportunities, and it is going to be a player ducked out in a mini pit, which is guaranteed. G is going to be guaranteeing 4 kills as well, up to 12-4 now. This is going to be TYLOO setting up for a quick success.
You would think.
I mean, they're set up for
going to be the option of choice. They are set up for it, definitely. Yeah. Yes, I can agree with that. We're just waiting to see whether or not NinJa's going to force buy in here. It would be one of the things to do, but they do not. Deagle's out for a couple. Saw a bit of Deagle decimation in the Oceania matchup over on Anubis, but...
Shout out to Jinx, man.
Oh, what about shout out to Spine? That first shot doesn't quite connect, and Jamyoung, alongside Mercury, able to find some entries, one toward A, one towards B. It's not going to slow down much of that progression over here on the B-bomb site. That's a job well done by TYLOO.
Okay. Easy pickings, I suppose. None of the Eagles finding anything, none of the USPs finding anything, none of the NinJas finding anything.
Wouldn't it be crazy, though, if this NinJas team
became better than NinJas in Pajamas?
Well, I was just going to say play in an event with NinJas in Pajamas and play against, you know, you'd have NinJas versus NinJas in Pajamas. And then the casters would be saying, well, the NinJas are playing really well right now, but then you'd be like, which NinJas?
Yeah, but then I've also casted Nico versus Nico 100 times and I hate it, so...
I think you'd have to say ninjas or ninjas, and then everyone would know.
No, because ninjas is also how the Swedish people would pronounce it, because they say yeah instead of ja.
That's what I meant. I meant them for Sweden.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant for China as well. I don't know if China has J or not, man.
No, I think they do.
I mean, it is G
yeah, they do.
G. Ah, that's true.
G, yeah.
It's only yee-haw.
Do you know what GG means?
Yeah.
Yeah? You learned that on ESL Pro League?
No? Wait, what does GG mean? Am I getting confused?
I don't know. Do you know what it means?
No? I'm going to say just to find out.
It's not something I can say on the
Jamyoung has found the Deagle kill instead of using the Mac 10 to say, screw it, I want the range, and he will be traded soon afterwards.
All I'm going to say is it's in your best interest to say GG how, not GG how.
Alright. See, I was just thinking good game.
No. I mean GG in the context of G the player. But Attacker has got himself a nice little opener there onto Spine, and somehow they have actually swindled a player past Say My Name. He's gotten one, but not the other, which is going to be a cause for concern. It will slow this rotate down quite substantially, because Mosea is here, ready and waiting for one. No more than that. B site being cleared in the meanwhile by TYLOO. They are doing their due diligence, though, as we can see, there's nobody here. We've got a bomb plant down.
2 versus 2, this is going to be one of the best opportunities for the NinJas to be able to get onto the bomb site. They've got themselves a Molotov, a smoke, and a flashbang. The only thing they're really missing out on is the kit. And Mercury's been forced forward. G's trying to give him some space to fight. Gets him the 1 versus 1, and Mercury will very quickly be delivering on that as well. They go back behind cover, and as the smoke is pulled out as a last-ditch effort, G will put Miami to bed. Which is something that doesn't happen very often. If you know Miami, they don't go to bed very easily.
That's true. I thought that was going to be a bit of a dig at G as well from you, because I remember you being a little bit of a G hater in the past. I want to say, though, I want to get your thoughts on it too. I think G in this TYLOO roster has really been impressing me quite a lot.
I just didn't think G was amazing. My point was always, I thought Zachar was better than G at all.
Right.
And they were both on the same team. So, like, I think G's good. Don't get me wrong. I think G's probably, like, better than Kaze and whatnot. But, like, it just felt strange to me that you had a team with Zachar and G when I thought Zachar was just better.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, either way, my takeaway has been G's actually kind of farming in this TYLOO roster. I see a lot of these kinds of games from him where he's, 13-4, 12-5, those kinds of numbers, which I think is a really, really positive sign, because I think, for me personally, it probably feels as though we're getting G's best form.
It's true.
If that makes sense. We probably haven't seen this level of consistency out from him really ever, I don't think.
He's really progressed.
So I'm very happy to see that.
He's really progressed from being like a player who's very shaky as well, is the thing, in terms of like big moments and whatnot, or in the pressure. He's grown into his role for sure. I think he's become a much better player as time's gone on as well. But I will say, Jordan, don't worry. If I'm a hater, I hate hard. You'll know.
That's true. That's true. I will not be speaking the name of any Oceanic teams or players in your presence.
Hey, man. I love me some talent.
That would be a great risk.
Maybe
Speaking
risk
of, it
can
is-
be great over here as well. 5-7. Oh, he had the jump on Mercury, but Mercury's just got that head and a swivel thing going on. It's very rare that I actually say that, because I do think it's disrespectful to actually insane flicks. That was one of them.
That was an insane flick, yeah. I mean, that's just a case of timing, really. And Miami, easily dealt with as well by Mercury. All of a sudden, we're at 12. This game has kind of just flashed in front of my eyes, and it's almost done. Just one of those things, I guess.
Well, Rage is sitting with the Mag 7 to see what he can do in a very long-range angle. Of course, he was hoping for someone to maybe come out of apartments. That would make more sense, but still. 12 now on the board for TYLOO. They are in position to close.
Certainly. However, there will be an investment from NinJa. So it may not be quite as easy as TYLOO would like it to be, although it has been pretty easy pickings regardless of whether or not NinJa have had guns or pistols or really anything. It doesn't seem to matter. TYLOO are getting through the majority of these rounds pretty okay. I mean, you just have to look at the numbers. You can see for yourself. Attacker 11-6, G 14-4, Mosey 15-7, Jamyoung 17-7. And even Mercury's positive and doing pretty well for himself, if not fantastically. G gets a second bite at the cherry there as Spine will come swinging past the half wall, give up his life. And, well, I just have to say that this round has very much vindicated exactly what I was just saying, because it really didn't matter that NinJa's had guns there, because they've barely done any damage. They have just gotten absolutely rolled. 13-4. Inferno is done. TYLOO will take the map, and they make it look extremely easy.
And as much as we might be saying that, hey, this might not be the best version of TYLOO in terms of what they want to commit to, motivation, yada, 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 they're still a really good team, right?